Hi, I'm Michael,
And I'm Mason, and this is Shrimpt Fried Rice.
and today we are going to try to talk about New Year's resolutions as well as our crazy experiences the past couple of days with snow. So let's just get straight into it.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
Michael, you're the one that wanted to bring this up, so you got your story.
yeah, so in terms of New Year's resolutions, uh, if you guys watched our old episode from December of 2023, it's really been that long, huh?
Poof.
Of resolutions that we had and that we wanted to uphold in the year 2024, and
Yep.
I would say we were successful for the most part. My big resolution was just to kind of get out more, meet more people, hang out with my friends more, and just enjoy time away from my house. Just get out and do stuff. And that went pretty well, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so
What
too.
about you?
I think, yeah, I mean, mine was just get better at GeoGuessr. Almost the exact opposite of what yours was.
Yeah,
Um,
and you know what? You did get better because
I did
we
do that. Yeah.
we play on a Minecraft server with a few other people, and
Uh-uh.
I swear Mason is like the GeoGuessr. Like he plays GeoGuessr without playing GeoGuessr. Like we had a friend find a desert temple with a minor feature that made that certain temple like deviate from what a normal desert temple looks like,
Yeah.
and Mason just immediately knew where it was, what he was talking about, as well as like other not historical, but significant locations like villages or like
Yeah.
I guess a
Yeah.
trial chamber. I doubt that's happened yet, but it will.
Well, the other significant one, I don't think you were there for that one, was someone found a nether fortress, and I was like, was it the one that has this or the one that had that? And it was the one that had
There's
that.
multiple.
Yeah, I found a couple
Oh man.
because I
Oh,
had to find more for netherwort.
shows how out
Um,
of the loop I am.
yeah. Well, one's like really far away, and one's decently close, but still complicated to get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely gotten. As for my New Year's resolution from last year, I've definitely gotten better. Right now, I'm memorizing all of the area codes in the United States.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
that'll really help. I've got, I think, 30 down right now, something.
30.
Yeah,
That's painful.
but there's a lot. There's like 335. So yeah,
You know what? Whatever makes you happy.
yeah, it's making me happy. Don't worry.
That's good. But in terms of new resolutions, as we are currently recording this in early January,
Yeah.
and as many people do, we made new resolutions. Would you like to start with one that you have?
Yeah, sure. I think I'm in the one thing that I always feel like I just don't do the best that I would really like to get better at is just visual art. I like music a lot. I'm pretty good at music, but I'm not the best at drawing or doing like painting and kind of that stuff. And I sort of figured out through school this year that I'm pretty decent at calligraphy, and
Ooh,
so I'm trying to get back into doing like proper art, like visual art. So I'm gonna try and get better at that this year. That's my big New Year's resolution. How about you, Michael?
that's honestly cool. I wish I was better at calligraphy. But my big resolution this year, I only have one, and I think it's a pretty important one. It's something that many people struggle with, and that's doom scrolling. Whether it be on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok. Personally, it's only Instagram for me.
Very understandable. Me
I'd
too.
like that to stop. I'd like to not do that. So I'm kind of training myself to every time I get bored and I open Instagram and start scrolling, I close the app, I turn off my phone, I boot up my computer, and I just go watch some sort of long form content on YouTube, or I'll just watch a random like math problem tutorial.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
That's
just
definitely a better alternative.
because at least I'm gaining something out of it, and I'm helping my attention span.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, but
I
speaking of the New
certainly struggle
Year's,
with stuff like that. So
yeah, 100%. It's rough.
I try to break it down by playing like guitar or something like that.
It's
do
good.
something else that's mentally challenging, or play GeoGuessr.
Or play GeoGuessr, ladies and gentlemen. But it's definitely more productive than doom scrolling. Anything is really.
Yeah.
But on the topic of New Year's and New Year's resolutions, since it is early in the year and it is cold out generally, it's January. We had a rough snowstorm for a bunch of people.
Yeah, and
The
this is like our first snow in this area since since I think we didn't even have a good one last year. So it's been like
Yeah,
2 years basically.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And we got a good one, so that's for certain.
it hit hard. Today I had to make an emergency trip, and that was like taking 15 minutes to clean off my car and heat it up just so I could drive it. And
Yeah.
going to pick up my grandma from her house about 20 minutes away because her power went out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was sitting in the dark and in the cold for
Mm,
4 hours before finally
that
getting in
sucks.
contact with one of her neighbors to call me. From like 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, she was just sitting there.
That's horrible.
Yeah, but her neighbor came home, and her neighbors are very good on checking on her because she is, as of January 1st, 87 years old.
Yeah.
So
Oof.
she,
My grandmother's 83, 84. So
yeah, so she has good neighbors. She asked to use one of their phones, and they
hmm
called me. Yes,
good, good,
yeah. So she's spending the night at my place tonight.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
my
you?
on my side, it's we've had a bit of a rough one. I know where you live, it hasn't been it's been bad, but it hasn't been horrible.
Yeah.
But where I live, the water has stopped working.
Oh, that's
Um,
fun.
yeah, so we have no more water that you can use. No like washing your hands, no brushing your teeth, anything like that.
Oh, that
Um,
sucks.
yeah, so they announced that earlier today, and so it kind of caused a little bit of a panic. Luckily, we already had some water, but my dad wanted to be sure to get more, just in case. So he rushed out to the closest like big Walmart nearby, and they
Hmm.
were fully out of water. Like everybody, it was already gone.
You're kidding.
Um, yeah, no. So my dad had to drive out 2 counties
Oh,
to get like a ton of water to bring back to our house. And
that's good
while
he
he
got
was
some.
doing that, yeah, I live with my grandmother, and we were outside shoveling snow and putting it into bins so that we could keep it for like water for like the bathtub or like to make the toilets flush, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Which so that was great fun.
that sounds incredibly fun.
Oh yeah, I mean it was peaceful the night before. I know you thought so.
Yeah. Oh man. I went out on like a midnight walk because it was still so bright outside at
Mm-hmm.
12 in the morning. I took my neighbor with me, and we did like a mile-long walk around the block just to see. That rhymed. Ooh. To see what was just kind of happening, what was
New Year, New
going on with
You.
the snow. Yeah, and it was a much needed walk. I felt very relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to just kind of get out in nature and just experience the snow. Like I bundled up. I got on my coat. I got on my boots, and I have a little beanie. It's a Cuphead branded,
Of course.
and I wore it into the cold. So much fun, because we took my little RC car out and drove it
Mm-hmm.
along with us. Surprisingly, it lasted the entire mile.
Yeah. That is surprising. Yeah. Whew.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah. I mean I think that this winter break I've been not the most productive, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
Um, I know I was reminded, I was told by one of our friends that we're about to graduate, but it definitely already
No,
feels like we kind of
no,
have
don't.
graduated.
Yeah. I kind of feel like a bum just sitting at home in my pajamas all day doing nothing.
Yeah,
Ah,
it feels
man.
it feels weird. I guess I guess we could talk about that. Like we're about to be going to college and stuff. I know you don't want to have to think about it, but
I really don't. I don't want to
Oof,
grow up.
me neither. Not
Uh,
really. There's parts I want, but there's parts I don't.
yeah, like I would like to grow up, but also at the same time, I still want to maintain my childish self.
Yeah,
I don't want to go
I
professional.
completely agree. Yeah, and now we have a little while to wait before we know where we're going off to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna hear back next month from the college I want to go to.
Same.
It's kind of scary because I've kind of put all my eggs in one basket with that.
Hmm.
If I don't get in, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I think
Because
you'll get. I think you'll get definitely.
I hope so. Because if I don't, uh, my life is gonna take a very big downward turn.
Yeah,
But you know, wherever I go, I'm sure I'll
I'm
be
sure you'll
fine.
make it work.
I've been accepted. Accepted it. Ooh.
Accepted it.
I've been
Dang,
accepted to
this
a bunch
week
of
really
good
has
schools.
corrupted us.
It really has. I need an English class right now. But I've been accepted to about 13 other schools so far. So
Yeah,
I have options. It's
yeah.
just most of them I really don't want to go to. One of them is in
Mm,
Alaska, University of Alaska Fairbanks.
that could be fun. We're talking
Believe it
about
or
the
not,
snow here. I think they would have their own issues with the snow there.
they definitely have it a lot more rough. I'm okay, personally, but that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't apply to as many places, or I mean, I didn't like. I've spread my eggs into multiple more baskets than I think you have, but I haven't like, you know, all of the colleges that I've put my eggs into, I have they're ones that I would consider going to. I would definitely go to and attend. Whereas I
Yeah.
think all of the ones that you've applied to, like, I don't I don't see you going to Alaska.
Yeah, there's no schools that really like truly interest me other than the main one I applied to.
Hmm.
Cuz like the rest of them are either really far away or they're too close to home.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, I have some friends that like they just really want to not be here. They wanna go to college somewhere that's not where we live.
Yeah, and honestly,
Um,
that's fair enough.
yeah, I'm only applying to one out of state school.
Yeah.
Um, Cornell. So I mean, I can mention that. So I guess you guys know we don't live in New York. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I'm applying to Cornell. So we'll see how that goes. It's an Ivy League, so all of their decisions are like very late, which I'm not
Yeah.
looking forward to. It's like late
I
March.
honestly, knowing you and like your intelligence, you would get in.
I'm hoping so.
Do you plan to commit if you do get in?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Cool.
because my only concern is financing it. It's expensive, and my
Yeah,
family doesn't have a lot of money.
but also at the
Uh,
same time, it'd be worth it. You could make it
yes, it
back.
definitely would. And I did one of those like online calculators, you know. And I honestly don't know how reliable they are. But if it is somewhat reliable, then I think I should be fine with financial aid.
Yeah, like college is expensive. Not many people can actually pay for it outright. I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll get a good amount of scholarships.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about the Ivy Leagues. At least a lot of them is that they'll award you need-based financial aid and need-based scholarship stuff like that. But since they already assume that you're pretty intelligent if you're going there, there's no sort of merit-based scholarships or anything. So
Um,
you can't get anything based off of like, oh, you had like really good academics or you had really good something,
yeah,
which is a
that
bit
that
of
makes
scary.
sense.
But yeah, but outside scholarships, those ones are fine.
Yeah, so I think you'll be fine in that um that sector
Yeah.
because I bet you'll get at least half of it paid for, no problem.
Hmm.
Yeah. What do you plan on majoring in?
Physics. That's the plan. That's the goal.
Yeah, fun.
You want to go into engineering, right?
I do, yes, mechanical engineering.
Mechanical. I can never remember which kind.
Yeah, the good kind. You can just remember it that way.
The good one. All right.
Yeah, not all of them are good, except for computer science. I have beef with computer science.
That's fair. That's very understandable.
Because, like, a lot of them, And yes, by definition, they're engineers, but I feel like they're not
It's
as
different.
engineer. It's a
Yeah, it's
very
different.
different type of engineering because they're like,
Yeah.
they do like a lot of math, yes, but they barely focus on any physics, and they don't
Hmm.
have to take the same like fundamental classes like statics and stuff like that.
Yeah. Very. I mean, it's interesting because it's like you're going into engineering, and I'm planning to go into physics, and I'm gonna be interested to see how many of the similar courses that we end up taking.
I think we're going to be taking fairly identical courses, just because mechanical engineering has a big focus on physics because there's a
Yeah.
lot of movement and projectile motion.
Hmm. Well, when
Um,
I'm interested because it's like we're gonna be working with physics, both, but
yeah,
I plan to be working with stuff that's like not classical physics. It's not the stuff that you tend to be learning in like high school level physics.
yeah,
Because I want to be doing like quantum level stuff, particle physics.
yeah.
So we'll see how it goes in that regard as well.
Yeah, and I have more of a focus on like application to just like everyday real world physics.
Yeah, because
So
because
yeah,
I think it'll be interesting because it's like I think if someone had to ask us in the future, like to just to answer a couple random like physics like problems, I almost want to say that I think that you would have a better chance at answering like very of those like general physics ones because that's more what you're aligned with. Whereas
mhm.
if they wanted to know something that's like really, really, really narrowly specific about something, then I'd probably have a better chance at answering that kind of thing.
Yeah, because you're gonna focus a lot more on like the quantum level, like particle motion,
Yeah,
stuff like that. I'm gonna be like, hey, how fast is that car going? How fast does this arm swing?
yeah.
Like definitely more like kinematics and stuff like that.
Hmm. Which I think is very interesting. It's just there's other things that I think interest me more.
Yeah,
Hmm. So we'll see how it goes for
for
certain.
sure, for sure. I'm looking forward to it. The college life seems fun, but also kind of scary because like we're
Yeah,
adults. We don't really have teachers anymore to like guide us. We're on our own.
yeah, yeah. I for me it's like I'm definitely going to be asking my cousins because they have both now graduated college. Well, my cousin will graduate college by the time that I'm going to college.
Mhm.
So I'll at least have them to ask upon. But I don't have any brothers or sisters or anything, so I can't talk to them about it
Yeah,
like a
I
lot of
mean,
people can.
at least you got somebody.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
yeah, I'm completely alone. I'm an only child, so I'm by myself. And the only other person in my family who has gone to college is my mom,
Hmm.
who hasn't been for about 35 years.
Yeah,
And well, maybe not 35. It's more like 20, 28 years, I want to say.
yeah.
Um she went for business administration,
Hmm.
and that's vastly different from what I'm doing. So
Definitely.
she said like uh how stupid it is to have to do like essays for college, but it's because
Hmm.
she only applied to one college, and it was a very high acceptance rate college.
Yeah.
And also she did it in the era of paper applications. There was no
Hmm.
like
Which
there
is
was
crazy to me. Like this is I feel like
yeah.
it would sound like I don't want it to sound ignorant, but like I know my parents and my cousins, my aunt was talking about it, and it's just like it's so hard for me to believe sending in applications and getting the like, application forms and stuff on paper.
Yeah, especially because we have like the luxuries of Common App and Coalition App.
Yeah,
It makes life so much easier.
definitely. It's like miles easier than I'm in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no.
Although I had to do FAFSA a couple weeks ago, and that was miserable
It was
for many
painful.
reasons. I had to do like a I won't go into it here. It was it was not fun
Hmm.
because I had to do some extra stuff. But
Yeah, I for the college I want to go to, the priority deadline was December 22nd for
yeah,
FAFSA, and I finished my part like the day the FAFSA came out,
yeah,
but I had to wait for my mom, and she didn't even bother to touch it until like I hounded her because it was due the same day.
yeah, yeah. I think I did it after for the one that you're talking about. Since I applied there as well, I did it after the priority deadline, but
Yeah.
um, but I did send it in, so that's good. Have you? I know they have you done the scholarship stuff
The
yet?
general application I have, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you do the College of Sciences? Or I guess you're not in College of Sciences, are you?
Yeah, I would be in the School of Engineering.
Yeah,
So I'd be somewhere completely different from you.
yeah.
Which is crazy to think about.
Did I know there was one that had like small essays, but they're basically the same as the. They're
Yeah.
similar. So
Yeah,
did you write those ones as well?
I only had 4 essays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we had the same ones.
I need to do those because I know there's like a couple that were slightly different than the main ones. You know.
Hmm. It's a war zone. TLDR, ladies and gentlemen, it is a war zone out in the college sector.
Definitely. Anybody who watches this and hasn't started the thinking about college idea yet, all I say is just you won't be ready for some of the stuff that happens, but you just kind of have to be ready to know that you won't be ready.
Yeah, like even though you know like you're not going to be ready for it, you can still have like a sense of understanding like okay, this is difficult, this is a lot, but I can tackle this, and once it's done, I'm free. Because once you're
Yeah.
out of college application season, you never have to worry about it ever again.
Yep.
It's a one-time event. It happens
Yep.
when everyone's around 17, 18 years old. But once you're done, and I'm pretty much done. I just got to worry about scholarships now.
Same.
But once you're done, it's very liberating.
It is. Submitting that final button is a little nerve wracking, but very rewarding.
Yeah, it's so great.
Yes, I completely agree, and I do think that like getting ahead on everything as fast as possible is definitely the way to go.
Hmm.
You don't want to be like that person that's submitting and writing all of your essays the week of. It's a
Yeah,
lot harder to deal with,
especially because
in my
like
opinion.
some like when you're applying to like higher ranked colleges, you
Mm-hmm.
want your essays to be good. You want them to be like spot on, ideal, perfect.
Yep.
Because if you don't get into those schools and you do it last minute, it's kind of your fault for not doing it sooner.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I would say like just having as many people look over it as possible is definitely beneficial.
But that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
you
Is it
need you need
because I
that
was
time.
I was thinking about this the week before last that about there like anything that you wish you had done in the past years in high school that would have made your like college application look better.
Yeah, that's honestly a great topic and question. Do you want to cover that?
Yeah, because I was thinking the one thing that I've been involved in a lot of things at school. I've done my part and stuff. The one thing that I really realized that dang, I should have just done that a lot more. Looking back on things, was held leadership positions. I just don't have that many
Hmm.
leadership positions, and I should have done that. But
Yeah. I didn't really obtain any leadership positions until this past year. Well,
mm-hmm,
rather this past 2 years, my junior and senior year of high school. Um, I've held many leadership positions. Well, not many. I just said three.
yeah,
um, but I've held one in our TSA chapter as the vice president for a year.
mm-hmm,
And then that same year, I was the vice president of our National Technical Honor Society.
mm-hmm.
And this year, I was reelected the president. Or not
Nice,
president, sorry, the vice president. I wish president.
nice.
But it's enough
Well,
to get me to
I
speak
mean,
at our
almost
graduation.
almost student government president.
Yeah, I was the junior class treasurer last year.
Yeah,
Um, but I didn't get reelected for president, sadly. But it's okay, I served my time.
should have been Michael.
Yeah. But and I've also held some positions outside of schools like I do a lot of like theater outside of
Mm-hmm.
school. Like any company that's traveling through the area, I always get a recommendation from my theater teacher who invites me to like do stuff with traveling companies.
Yeah.
I've worked with a ballet company. I've done stuff with a new
Interesting.
performance studio as like their sound manager.
Hmm.
So it's cool some of the leadership roles I've held, and
Yeah.
it's kind of stressful thinking about the leadership roles, but once you're actually in the position, it's not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, I've held like one or two, and
Mm-hmm.
they're really not like they're not that bad. Although certainly there are some where it's like be careful before you do it because you're gonna be invested in it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for the most part, they're not that horrible.
Yeah, I mean, if you're being elected, generally you're somewhat knowledgeable on the topic and on the
Yeah.
work that you're doing. So
Yep.
it's just business as usual, except you just have a few more responsibilities.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. You know,
Yeah.
but and it's high school. Like it's not anything major. It's not anything
Hmm.
that's gonna like ruin your life if you don't do it or you do it.
Hmm.
Really, the only purpose of like doing extracurriculars in high school, there's two reasons. One, to meet people and make friends. Two, college.
Yeah. Yeah.
And similarly, how like holding a high GPA in high school is purely to get into a good college. If you don't care about that, get those C's. C's get your high school diploma. C's get you places in the
Oh, absolutely.
non-college world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm forced to be a slave to the 4.0 gang just
That's
because
right. That's
I
right.
need my 4.0 to get into engineering school. But once I'm in, C's get degrees. I will not be caring much for my GPA as long as I'm passing and I'm
Yep.
on track to graduate college. I don't care.
I wish. I wish. Since I've got to go to like higher education past college,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can afford myself the same
Oh,
luxury.
yeah, because you're gonna have to go to grad school, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the difference between actual physicists and engineers. We only have to go for 4 years, get our bachelor's, and then we just do like certification programs alongside while we work
Hmm.
and get like our professional engineering license.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great experience. I'm really looking forward to, you know, the better half of my life.
Yeah. Well, and as we're like reflecting back on things, has there been any prominent year of high school in these past 4 years that you've just liked the most, like way more than others?
Ooh, that's a good one. Honestly, junior year, because that's when I met the most people and
Hmm.
did the most stuff. This year I've kind of eased back. Now I'm in my senior year. I'm kind of just chilling, waiting to be
Yeah.
accepted to college, and then that'll be that.
Hmm.
But definitely it was junior year. What about you?
Interesting. I think I have a bit of a controversial opinion that my favorite year of high school so far has been freshman year.
Really?
I liked ninth grade a lot. Yeah.
Would you
I don't
mind
know what
elaborating on
I
that?
don't know how to say it. It's just I don't know. I really liked ninth grade.
Kind
It
of
it
like before you got into the big league high school stuff, you were just kind of a
yeah.
child freshman.
I mean I think it was like we were coming off of COVID. Um, so everything was a bit easier. I guess it was a bit like lax. I didn't feel like as
Yeah,
pressured to do stuff. I guess
I
as
can see
well.
that. Yeah,
Um, my grades were the best that they've ever been.
same here.
Was part of it. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was no. I met like since especially being in center because well, and I mean looking back on it, when did you started your center in junior year, right?
Yeah, that's when I also met a lot of people, and I really got
So
a feel for like the major I want to go to and why I
yeah,
really like it.
so I kind of feel like that's kind of half of it is our favorite years are both the years that we started our centers.
Yeah, because
Um,
that's when we got like first met the new people and really got chummy with them.
yeah, exactly. So I think that's also part of it. Like meeting my friends that are still my like primary friends to today is
Mm-hmm.
is definitely a part of it. It's nice, but
I can see where you're coming from with that. I'm with you
yeah,
there.
it'll be interesting to see how I think of going to college and meeting those people.
Yeah. Well, you know, Mason, I feel like we've blabbered on long enough. I think it's time for
Hmm.
our closing remarks and possibly the end of today's episode. I don't know
All
how you
right.
feel about that.
I agree. I think we've cooked that rice. I think we've
Yeah.
cooked it.
Yeah. That's. Now, Mason, I got one question for you. You're telling me a shrimp fried this rice?
Fried this rice? You're telling me I shouldn't fried this rice?
I am.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrap for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for listening. Have a good rest of your day,
Anything.
week, month. Who knows when we'll be back?
Year? We'll make a yearly thing.
We'll be back every year for a check-in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.